Welcome to Wild Breakaway with Ben Clymer. I'm Audra Martin. The Minnesota Wild were looking to get back in the win column tonight against the Ottawa Senators. If you saw just the first part of the game, it looked like a very different second half of the game because the Minnesota Wild came out. They were all over Ottawa early on, but then the momentum surely went to the Senators in the second half. Luckily, the Minnesota Wild able to gut it out, battle through, and they get the 6-4 win here on home ice.
Yeah, really the tale of two games for the Minnesota Wild. Starting out the game, out shooting the Ottawa Senators 15-4 in that period, scoring a power play goal late in the period to head to the locker room up 2 goals. You kind of figure, okay, we could kind of turn things off, maybe start to deal with some Thanksgiving things. Well, all of a sudden, the Ottawa Senators said, you know what, we're pretty good too. They pay us to play this game as well. They come roaring back. And then all of a sudden, there was a battle in that final period. Unfortunately for the Ottawa Senators, it was too little too late. Devin Dubnyk doesn't get the win. Al Stalock comes in relief, gets a
one save
win, but nonetheless, you know, Bruce Boudreau awfully happy with his team to get that win because you have to be able to win when you're maybe not at your best.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a look at tonight's final stats. The Senators come to town with the top offense. They get 4, but they have the worst defense, so it makes sense they give up 6 tonight. The Minnesota Wild also taking advantage of their brutally struggling penalty kill to get 2 power play goals here tonight. They have 7 power play goals in their last 5 games. They had to battle. It was a bit of a nail biter there in the third, but a win is a win.
It's good to get the win. You need the points. And you should never complain when you get 2 points. But you'd like to think you'd be able to close it out a little bit better than that. That's 2 games in a row at home that we'll have to work on, and maybe it was just a confidence boost. I mean, or a lack of confidence that we're sitting there, uh-oh, they scored that first one early, and here they go again, you know?
So now everyone will get to enjoy some turkey tomorrow before returning to work on Friday as the Wild welcome the Winnipeg Jets to town for an early game. 3 o'clock, we drop the puck in St. Paul. So that's going to be a good one. We know the history between these 2 teams. And, of course, the Winnipeg Jets, a very talented team. The team chasing the Wild in the standings right now. And the Minnesota Wild would love to keep the momentum going, get 2 more points in a Central Division showdown.
It'll be a big game for the Minnesota Wild, facing a team that has huge, and I mean huge, playoff expectations placed on them based off of last year, based off of what they've been able to put together that has some longevity. Really the only player who looks to be moving on will be Trouba from a salary cap position. But you think about Bufflin, you think about Myers. Those are 2 big mobile defensemen. Then you looked at Blake Wheeler right there. That's a player who is very good in the National Hockey League. We're not even talking about Scheifele, Laine. And this is a team where you leave the building and you have a clear understanding of where you are. I think it will be a great game for Minnesota Wild fans to understand where this team is and what the expectations can be as we move forward.
It's always a fun matchup. We know the Xcel Energy Center is going to be rocking. I'm sure there'll be tons of Jets fans. It'll make for an exciting Black Friday. We look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, for Ben Clymer, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.